right, so this is going to be another movie review. This one's called Home Movies 1940. It's going to be another black and white short on the My Wife disc. It's 8 minutes long. I'm giving it 1 out of 5 stars. I hated this one. I had to rewatch it because it was Blunderer Robert Benchley going to show some house guests the film he and his wife took on a vacation trip. I don't know what kind of handheld camera they're using, but it's one of those funky projector things that I used to, that my high school teacher used to use back in the 80s. And then you had for the sound, you had this tape player thing. My classmates used to play jokes on the teacher and put different cassette tape in the tape player. And the teachers used to play these projector reel things whenever they were drunk the previous day. So he's got all this projector reel tape in front of him. He's talking about how great these home movies are. But then nothing good happens when he sets up the projector reels and he's got guests on these couches that are layered in his house. One guest goes up to pick up the phone, or use the phone, I should say. And another guest is falling asleep the whole time. Mary Blake is one of the guests. What was she in? Mary Blake. She was actress in the Addams Family TV show, Mary Blake. I've got to find her, and I'll put her name in the Addams Family and television show review, and this one. I forgot to put her name in there. Anyway, I think she's one of the guests. She's got to be one of the guests. So when he starts playing the projector reel, you see people like walking backwards, and he assures his guests that they weren't actually walking backwards. And there's like a red filter on it, all kinds of problems, and he blames it on the actual tape manufacturer or something. So Benchley made a string of Everyman for Paramount and MGM, and most of them showed looking like a clueless dork. I won't spoil the ending, but I didn't get a laugh out of this. I thought it was pretty bad. Anyways, it's only 8 minutes long, so I shouldn't complain too much, but man, I can't get into these shorts unless it's like a droopy cartoon or something. All right. Well, that's the end of my review. I'm going to cut it short. I gotta get some Just for Men hair coloring shampoo at Safeway. Gotta mop the garage, sweep and mop, vacuum my carpet, eat some breakfast, put on some clothes. I don't have any pants or socks on, but you can't see that because I'm sitting down. Not that you would want to see that. Me and my boxer underwear. Anyways, cool. I'll get to My Favorite Wife and watch an episode of Tales from the Crypt, the Adrian recommendation or mention or whatever he does. Sometimes it's barely a mention. Other times it's, hey, check this out, kind of like Karate Man kind of thing. So, yeah, it's an old Adrian mention. Let me put it to you that way. I got to cut my hair later. So I'm going to be busy today. But I got to get busy on my days off next week looking for work instead of watching this Netflix and YouTube stuff. I'm going to be in dire straits. My next paycheck, I won't be able to pay any bills or invest in Robinhood or anything. I'm going to be past due on my bills. And I think one of them's due on the 10th. I don't get my next paycheck until like the 17th or the 20th or something. So it's not going to be a big check based on last week's earnings, if they include last week in my paycheck, which I'm hoping they don't. This past week, they've been cutting my hours. And when I asked the dispatcher guy about it, he just goes, well, I don't know what's coming out first. And so I just go down the list, and the first one that pops up, I give it to you. And it's always the lousiest route, like 16 stops in East Bay. Takes me like 5 hours when I'm used to like 10 hours in the morning. I think the manager put a stop to it, and they're not telling me the truth about why they're giving me these lousy routes consistently. So it's a major problem that I've got to deal with very soon. I've got to find a second job, and I mean fast, because I'm going to start falling behind on bills. I might have to take out a personal loan at the bank at the rate I'm going. Oh, man, what a disaster. It all started in April when I got laid off from my full-time employer desk job. They were paying me about 26 something an hour. And they treated me the same way they treated my other coworker, the Filipina lady, who supposedly had a baby, but she's not telling me anything. Maybe she got a miscarriage from the COVID shots. I hope not. But anyways, I don't know if she's a single mom or what's going on. Nobody tells me nothing, man. All right. Well, that's the end of my review. I better get going. Getting ready for picking up my son and whatnot. So try to get some more reviews in later today. I took a ton of naps in my car because I had a bigger gap between my two shifts. So I caught up on sleep quite a bit. I think my body was telling me, you worked too much the previous week. Now I'm trying to catch up. All right, so that's the end of my review. Not highly recommended. Not check it out. Just like my last review. Oh, I got somebody in the chat room. Who's in the chat room? Oh, they left. I thought it was a Russian bot, but I haven't seen the Russian bot for like 2 weeks. The HDXYZ, whatever that is. The crazy spam chats that drives Karate Man crazy. I don't see Karate Man in the chat room anymore, but he posted a couple comments, two of them Jean-Claude Van Damme recommendations. And another action flick that I never heard of, probably from the late 90s or the early 90s, sometime in the 90s. It's always action movie from the 90s. Anyway, I added the action movie from the 90s to my list, and I added the two Jean-Claude Van Damme movies to my Netflix queue. So thanks to Adrian and Karate Man for doing those mentions, recommendations, whatever you want to call them. I delete a bunch of older movies from my Netflix queue, which I'll add back later once I start getting more Tales from the Crypt from Netflix later.